Welcome back to my channel. If you're seeing this beautiful face for the first time, I'm glad to have you here. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. If you know you're interested in finding out how we got here, how we achieved this beautiful makeup look, then keep watching. So guys, I already did my skincare and everything I'm supposed to do, so my face is moisturized already. I'm just going to go straight into my primer. For primer, I'm using the e.l.f. Power Grip primer. I'll just apply that in the tip of my finger, just like 2 pumps like this, and just rub that all over my face. For foundation, I'll be using the Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade 350. So I'll just apply a little bit of that on my face. You don't want to apply too much foundation, and then I like to smoothen out my foundation with the tip of my finger before going in with my beauty blender. So for beauty blender, we are using a damp beauty sponge. You want to make sure your beauty sponge is not wet. You want to make sure it's damp. To get a damp beauty sponge, you just run your beauty blender through water, and then you squeeze out the excess water with a paper towel. You want to make sure to blend your foundation properly. Next is blush. For blush, we are using this PS pink blush. I'm just going to apply that in the apples of my cheek, just a little bit. If you feel like you need more, you can always build it up. You want to be careful with the amount of blush you apply on your face, so you will not apply too much. You also want to make sure to blend that out. The key to makeup is blending. Whatever you're applying on your face, just make sure you blend it out properly. Like I said, you can always build up your blush if you feel like you need more of it. So yeah, I just applied a little bit more on my face and then blended it out into the one I already had on my face before. So next off is concealer. For concealer, we are using this Adventure Blend Pro concealer in the shade 02. I just applied a little bit of that in the down part of my eyes. You don't want to apply too much concealer as well. You just want to apply enough to brighten up the dark circles around your eyes. So I also applied the concealer on my forehead, the bridge of my nose, and also my chin. So yeah, before blending out your concealer, you want to wait a little bit long for the concealer to sit properly on your skin, and then I went in with a smaller beauty sponge just to blend that out. You want to use a smaller beauty sponge because you don't want your concealer messing around your face. You want to be precise. So yeah, I started off by blending my forehead down to my nose, then my chin, before going into blending my eyes. My eyes was literally the last place I blended out. Blending my eyes, I started from the outer corner of my eyes, then I blended it in to the inner corner of my eyes. You want to make sure to blend your under eyes properly. You see the reason why we use a small beauty blender, so that you'll be able to get to all these corners of your eyes that a big beauty sponge will not reach. So yeah, I just blended that out properly. You want to make sure to blend it out very well, because if you don't blend your concealer out properly, it can cause creases around your eyes, so, and also patchiness, and that will make your makeup look really horrible. So you want to make sure to blend out your concealer properly. So yeah, after blending out your concealer, you don't want to go right into setting your concealer, because you don't want to set a wet concealer. You have to wait for some seconds for your concealer to dry up. You want to make sure you're not seeing any wetness. So while I wait, I went into my VBT powder palette and I picked up my Perfect shade just to set the whole of my face. yeah, I just set the whole of my face with that. And then for contour, I also used my V Beauty powder palette. I just picked up the dark shade, applied it on my cheeks and my forehead. After contouring my whole face, I went straight to setting my under eyes. For setting my under eyes, I used this small puff and I just went into my V Beauty powder palette to pick up a lighter shade just to set the whole of my under eyes. After setting my eyes, I went with this small tipped brush just for my nose contour. I was really careful while doing this because you don't want to apply too much pressure. You don't want your nose looking too dark, so you want to be really careful while contouring your nose. After contouring my nose, I just used this small fluffy brush to further enhance what we did with the concealer on top of our nose and our forehead using a lighter shade powder. So for setting powder, I used this setting powder. I really don't know what the name is. I just used that to set the whole of my under eyes. I used the same puff I used the first time. I just pressed that starting from the bridge of my nose down to the outer corner of my eyes. I just pressed that into my under eyes gently. So next off is our brows. For brows, we are not doing anything really serious, so I went in with this brow gel from ELF. I just brushed up my brows before going in to fill it up with my Davis pencil in the shade number 18. I just filled my brows. I literally just filled where there were no hairs. I didn't touch the parts that there were hairs, so I just filled my brows up. So for cleaning my brows, I used the Adventure Blend Pro Concealer in the shade number 5. It's a different shade from the one I used for my under eyes. So I just used that to clean the down part of my brows. While cleaning your brows, you want to make sure to drag down the concealer as you go for easy blending. So yeah, I just did that to the other side of my eyes as well. I really didn't do anything to the upper part of my brows because I was going for a more natural look. And then I went into blending the concealer out with this blending brush. I just carefully dabbed that around my eyes, blending out the concealer properly to avoid harsh lines. I don't want my eyebrows looking unnatural, so I just pressed that in, and after that I went on to set my brows with my powder. So yeah, I just set my eyebrows with my shade from my V Beauty powder palette. I don't want anything too dramatic around my brows, so yeah. After that, I went into my Beyond Beauty gel liner, so I just used that to wing out my eyes. I like a little bit of a dramatic wing, so that's what I was doing. While winging your eyes, you want to start from the outer corner of your eyes, then fill it into the inner part of your eyes. I also used that for my waterline. So yeah, I was just using that to fill my waterline. Sorry for looking down, guys. I really had to be careful because I was dealing with my eyes. So after that, I went into my blush palette to pick up this pink shade just to smooth the my lower lash line, and then I just dust off any fallouts from the blush. I was just using that to make my eyes pop a little bit, since we are not doing anything too dramatic. I just wanted my eyes to pop a little bit, so I was just using that. So after that, I went into my powder palette just to dust off any fallout that was on my face. I just used this small blending brush just to dust off my face properly. So for lashes, I'm going to be using an half lashes today. So I just picked up a pair of lashes and just cut it into 2 equal parts with a scissors, and then I applied it on my natural lashes using my tweezers before going into pressing it down. And then I used this Coffee Lashes Lift mascara just to enhance the inner part of my natural lash and the lower part of my lashes. And then I just applied a little bit of powder blush on my cheek because I haven't applied any powder blush before. It was just cream blush. And then I went ahead to coil my lashes with this lashes coiler. I was just doing a little bit of something dramatic here. I didn't even know what I was doing. I just knew I wanted like dark dots on my face before going right into my lips. For lips, we're doing something really new today. So I was just lining my lips with my Davis pencil in the shade number 3. So yeah, while lining, I made sure to follow my natural lip line. I didn't want to overline or underline. I just like to follow my natural lip line. You can do what works for you, really. If you like to overline your lips, that's good for you. And if you also like to underline your lips, that's also good for you. Just do what works for you. This is what works for me. So yeah, I made sure to blend out the lip liner properly. For main color, I went into my Eyewear lip palette and just picked up this perfect nude shade, and I just applied that on my lips using a flat brush. Then I went into blending out my lips with my finger before going in with my lip gloss. And yeah, that's basically it for this look. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.